So when you think of TradingView, what comes to mind? Probably charts, right? But what we're going to unpack today is how it's so much more than that. We're talking about a whole ecosystem, a complete world built for traders.
And this is not some niche little platform. We're talking about a staggering 50 million users all around the globe. But look, that number isn't just a vanity metric. It's actually the fuel, the engine that powers what makes TradingView so unique. And we'll see exactly why in just a bit.
So, okay, 50 million people. What are they all doing on this thing? Let's cut right to the chase and figure out what TradingView really is. All right, so here's the deal. At its heart, TradingView is really two things smashed together. On one hand, yeah, it's an incredibly powerful cloud-based charting platform. But on the other hand, and this is the part that changes everything, it's the biggest social network for traders on the entire internet. It's that fusion, this serious analytical tool combined with this huge collaborative community. That's its secret sauce.
So, what if you're brand new to all this? How do you even get your foot in the door? Well, the platform is actually built to take you on that journey, from being a total novice to feeling knowledgeable. Let's walk through those very first steps.
So your first stop? It's like a dojo, a practice gym. It's called paper trading, and it's basically a risk-free simulator. You get to play with virtual money, trading real assets, stocks, crypto, forex, you name it. It's the perfect spot to test out your ideas, build up some confidence, and you don't have to risk a single real dollar. Pretty cool, right? And once you've got your feet wet, you can jump into the basic plan, which is completely free. Think of it as your gateway to the whole platform. It's awesome for learning the ropes, but there are some limitations. You'll see some ads, and you can only use 2 indicators on a chart at once. And that's totally by design, right? It creates this natural path for you to level up when you're ready.
Okay, now we're getting to the real meat of it, the engine that makes this whole thing run. We can really break down its power into 3 core pillars. And the magic is how they work together to create this single, seamless ecosystem.
And it all works in this constant loop. It goes like this. You analyze the market, then you collaborate with the community to sharpen your insights, and finally, you execute your trade. Analyze, collaborate, execute, all without ever having to leave the platform. So let's break down that first pillar, analyze. This is where TradingView's famous super charts come into play. I mean, you get over 20 different chart types and more than 400 built-in indicators. We're talking about the classics like RSI and Bollinger Bands, all of which you can tweak and customize to fit your exact strategy.
But, and this is a huge but, those built-in tools, they're just the tip of the iceberg. The community itself has created and shared over, get this, 100,000 custom indicators. That's just mind-boggling. This is where the platform's power goes from great to, well, almost infinite.
So what does a number like 100,000 plus even mean? It means the platform is literally harnessing the collective brainpower of millions of traders from all over the world. They do this through their own programming language called PineScript, which is actually pretty easy to learn. And the result is this living, breathing, constantly growing library of tools, all built by traders for traders. And that community-driven vibe leads us straight into the second pillar, collaborate. See, you're not just using tools other people made, you're actually interacting with them. You can publish your own charts and analysis as trading ideas, you can follow traders you respect, and just learn from this massive active network of people who are doing the exact same thing you are. Okay, so let's say you've done all your homework. You've analyzed the chart, you've maybe gotten some feedback from the community. Now what? The obvious next question is, well, how do you actually place a trade? And that brings us to the third and final pillar, execute. This is the part that closes the loop. Instead of having to log out, open up another app or website for your broker, TradingView integrates directly with some of the biggest names out there. This is so crucial because it lets you act on your ideas the second you have them, right from the chart. It completely removes that friction between having an insight and taking action. Now, as any trader knows, as your skills evolve, your needs change. You need more powerful tools, and that brings us to the next stage of the journey, leveling up with the paid features. And you can see how the platform scales with you.
On the free plan, you've got those 2 indicators per chart. But jump up to premium and suddenly you have 25. The number of price alerts you can set, it goes from just 3 to 400. And maybe most importantly, backtesting, which is the ability to test your strategy against historical data, that's a power reserved for the pro-level plans.
So what it really comes down to is a trade-off. The free plan is, without a doubt, an amazing way to learn. But for anyone who's actively trading, those limitations, the ads, the cap on tools, they start to feel like friction. The paid plans, on the other hand, unlock the platform's raw power. But, of course, that comes with a subscription cost. And what exactly are you getting for that cost? Well, you're unlocking pro-grade stuff. We're talking about things like second-based time intervals for pinpoint precision on your entries, automated chart pattern recognition, which is a huge time saver, and the ability to actually backtest your strategies to see if they would have worked in the past. These are the kinds of tools that serious traders really depend on. All right, let's pull all these threads together now and go back to that central idea, the all-in-one ecosystem. Because this is really where we see why the whole thing is so much more powerful than just its individual parts. And a huge part of what makes that ecosystem work is that it's all in the cloud. It seriously doesn't matter where you are or what device you're on. A web browser, the desktop app on your Mac or PC, your phone, everything is perfectly in sync. Your charts, your watch lists, your alerts, they just follow you wherever you go. So, after breaking all of this down, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all really mean for you, whether you're a seasoned trader or just getting curious? Here's the bottom line. TradingView isn't just a piece of software. It's a closed-loop system that's literally designed for a trader's growth. It takes you on a complete journey, from learning the ropes risk-free with paper trading to doing deep analysis with pro-level charts, to bouncing ideas off a global community, and finally, to taking decisive action through that direct broker integration. And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. As these incredibly powerful all-in-one platforms keep merging analysis, community, and execution into a single experience, what does that mean for the future of the individual investor? It's definitely something to think about.